Oscar, what if I told you we'd never heard of this film a week ago?
What if you told me that the Razzies, the Oscars, they grab the biggest films of the year. The Razzies, they go, you know what? Let's find some filthy little thing. Drudge it up.
Yeah.
Drudge it up.
Oh, God. The cast on this? Jesus. Yeah, originally filmed in 2014, yet this might be like the last appearance of William Hurt in a film.
Oh, yeah. How crazy is that?
I know.
You're
He's going out on a...
Oh, not a high, but
a golden glow in the ocean. Huh?
Huh? My name's Oscar.
My name's Carl.
This is
Who would watch this? God, you'll only get that gag if you've seen it. No, it's not going to be a lot of people. It's got to be no one. No one's going to listen to this episode. If you're listening right now, you're a fucking idiot.
Welcome to Who Would Watch This, the podcast where we watch film and chat about the film, and then try and figure out who would freaking watch this.
Today we're talking about The King's Daughter. That's right, you don't know what it is. Letterboxd has it at a 1.9. It has an IMDb rating of 5.1 and 20% on Rotten Tomatoes. Oscar, what's the plot?
King Louis XIV's quest for immortality leads him to capture and seal a mermaid's life force, a move that is further complicated by his illegitimate daughter discovery of the creature.
Wow. Don't you remember when we read that on the Razzies episode, we went, wow, that's a hit. We've got to do that. Oh, no.
This was... I don't know why we didn't listen to the Razzies, because they pretty much nailed the worst...
They do it every time.
They nailed the worst films. They were like, oh, 365 Days, hated that. Yeah. Morbius, hated that.
Twist?
Yeah.
Remember Twist? And
yeah.
we were like, oh, Twist sounds great too. Oh, God, it's terrible. Oscar, shall we go back to literally just a few days ago?
Yeah.
And when we were trying to figure out who would watch this.
Yes. Fuck it, Carl. We're either gonna do The King's Daughter or a fast, but we'll dip our little toesies into it.
Yeah, I think we'll do The King's Daughter because I'm hyped by its concept. I'm keen to see its execution. I'm hoping it's brimming with stupidity and energy. I'm hoping. I don't know.
I want to know what the thing is, because I feel like all the Razzie sort of noms have got like something like egregious in the film. Like, I wonder if, like, I don't know, Pierce is like killing.
I'm hoping Pierce is a mermaid.
That would be.
That's what's gonna sell it.
Yeah, 100%. If she transforms into a mermaid, it's like a curse, bit Shrek-esque. Maybe it could work. Fuck it, we're writing ourselves a pretty good movie.
I think
here.
we are.
I think
this is a hit.
A bona
fide hit.
Let me scroll down to see what the budget and profit was, but keep talking about how it was a hit.
I mean, if I've never heard of it, this has got to be a bomb, right?
Oh, wow. Second only to Avatar. That's pretty big. No, it made it made $2 million.
On a what? What was its budget?
45.
This is a $45 million budget? I just assumed this was going to be like a cheap film.
What do you mean? They got a mermaid and Pierce. That's like, I don't know, $40 million, I guess.
They catch a real mermaid? What do you mean they got a mermaid and Pierce?
You know, some call Pierce Brosnan the mermaid of the Bonds.
He has been selling... Sure. He has been selling himself out for money big time recently. Between this and Cinderella...
And Black Adam.
Pierce, what are you doing? I'm going to get Pierce's agent on the phone.
Isn't it crazy that Dwayne was like, don't worry, we'll get your career back on track. I'm starring in, I want to say, the greatest movie ever. Starring me. You're going to be fine, Pierce. That James Bond tile you've been trying to get rid of, it's going to be gone. You'll be Black Adam's golden guy helmet?
Yeah.
Forgotten his name already.
Oh, who even knows? The DC slate also just got announced today, and I'll tell you what, Pierce Brosnan was not in it, so he's definitely not coming back for anything or anyone.
Carl, who do we think is going to watch The King's Daughter with our plot in mind, that Pierce turns into a Mormon? A Mormon? A Mormon.
A mermaid. It's a door-knocking mermaid. Who do I think it's going to be for?
I can't even think.
Judging by the poster, I don't know. Fans of The Crown? I don't know what I'm to expect.
No, me neither.
At all. Is this a kids movie or an adult film? Is it going to be environmental? Is it not? I have no idea what to expect.
I mean, it's pretty. I mean, we probably should be better because it's the premise of this podcast. But genuinely, looking at that, I cannot think of anyone that would like entice. I've got no idea what this is.
It enticed us.
No, it did.
We saw that plot on that poster and we said, that's a film. Let's watch it. So
I guess us. We can't do that. No.
we can't do that. I'm gonna say potential kings and or their daughters.
Yeah, me too. I might.
No, you can't steal mine. Come up with your own.
Mermaids. You know.
They're not real. Kings and daughters are real.
All right.
You got me there.
No, genuinely, I think genuinely off this. I think it's a kids' film about her like transferring into a mermaid, and the king not like a Luca-esque, if you will.
Do we think maybe this is going to be for like if you can't wait for the Little Mermaid live action version coming out later this year from Disney, hook yourself up to the King's Daughter. Do we think that's what this is going to be?
Could be, yeah.
Do we think there's going to be a lot of mermaid or not a lot of mermaid?
I think a disgusting amount of mermaid. Like,
I think it's going to be a lot of mermaid.
Yeah.
Like
I think Pierce is not in it.
Oh, I assume he's being used for name alone.
Yeah.
I reckon he's barely going to be in it. And I just assume it's probably going to be whoever that girl is on the poster.
Effie, I think, from Skins.
Is it her? God, I didn't know she was going to be in this. That's a shame for her. I like Effie in Skins and never her in anything else. She's done nothing good since Skins, the poor girl. Yeah, maybe for Skins fans, huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Just finished season
Just finished the menu with what's his name?
Nicholas
Hoult, huh? And you're going, oh man, the Skins people are churning it out. Just watch Dev Patel in the Green Knight, huh?
You got the Green Knight, the King's Daughter. You got a whole royal thing for
Yeah.
Skins going.
Huh?
Warm
Skins
bodies.
is killing it. Yeah? Skins fans, we know you're listening.
Carl.
Such Little Mermaid in this. Too much Pierce.
So
much Pierce Brosnan. Nowhere near as much mermaid as a lot of William Hurt as a priest. Who saw that coming, huh?
What the fuck was this? This is ridiculous.
This is absolute garbage. This should win the Razzie.
Yeah.
Absolutely should win the Razzie. Boo! Boo all of you!
Oh my god. Let's just real quickly, we'll lay the framework for what this film was. Essentially, it was made in 2014. Pretty much like, yep, we're gonna make it. Just a week before it's gonna get shown, the CGI guys were like, nah, it's not ready, we'll just wait for that. And they were like, alright, chill. Cute 8 years later, it gets squirted out on video on demand. To nobody wanting it. So
us.
Yeah.
And maybe 5,000 people on IMDb.
Yeah. Oh no, 4.6. that's the rating.
Bummer.
Yeah, it's we'll get into it, but oh my god, what a bland mess.
Yeah.
Right?
This is I couldn't follow this. It blew my mind. When they were just like, and can you believe it? We're all French. I was like, what?
I've gone back from my notes because I was like, I'm being lazy. I haven't given the characters like, I've been just calling them like Fisherman Boy or Mermaid. I was like, oh, I'll go down to because they don't really say the names much in this. I'll go down to the names. Some of these names can fuck right off.
When I found out Pierce Brosnan was like King Louis, oh my god, I shit myself.
Is he the King Louis? Like it's a biopic? I don't know why they've gone, oh, it has to be. Just do a king. I wouldn't have mind, but didn't he do some stuff?
He comes out mildly with an accent, drops it immediately. Clearly, the director's gone, do one scene and we'll see how it goes. And then they've just gone, nah, cut it. He's shot pretty quickly into the movie, and I agreed wholeheartedly with that. And I was like,
the film opens with, it's like a picture book from Shrek. It's like, once upon a time, it's like
Mary Poppins is they got Julie Andrews to narrate, huh?
I think she does genuinely 5 sentences. I hope she got paid so much money.
So handsomely. And I hope it's recorded on like an iPhone 3.
Yeah, she was walking to the bus. I assume she gets the bus. She needs the money, doesn't she? She was walking over there like, oh, and there's a prince and there's a mermaid. Oh god. Like you can read her confusion.
These lines are awful. Who would watch this? It's us.
We've got Julie Andrews on the podcast. How you doing, Julie? No, it's okay. So it starts with a storybook. They're like, okay, there was this lonely girl who was at a nunnery, at a convent. Don't worry about that.
She loves the water.
She loves the water.
Fucking loves the water.
Fucking loves the water.
Immediately I go, that woman's a mermaid.
Yeah.
No.
Effie from Skins is not a mermaid.
She's not a mermaid.
We're immediately like, well, don't worry, we're in Versailles now. And Pierce is making a big speech.
Okay, that man's a mermaid. He's not.
No, the narrator's like, he was a brave, strong man. As that scene happens, a guy runs out from the crowd, shoots him point blank. He's shot.
Blatantly shot.
Yeah.
I assumed this was the end of him in the film.
Yeah, I
was
thought
like,
this was like a 3 weeks beforehand. No, the next scene's him getting patched up. He's like, you know, sir, you're not a morsel. Yes, he is. He got shot. He should be dead. I have no clue how the film's like, don't worry, we can show he's weak.
Yeah, I know, right? He's already like the chosen one, apparently. Yeah. He's like, no, I want to be more chosen. Kill a mythical creature in my name.
Before that even happens, Pierce is like, right, I just got shot. I need to be able to live forever. Doctor, you got anything? He's like, well, I don't know, mermaid might be a good op. He's like, all right, send some fisherman boy to do it. We're cut. We're at the fisherman.
We're out on the ocean. How much does this score want to be Pirates of the Caribbean? It's so close to Pirates of the Caribbean, but just they've cut a note each like couple of seconds. It's like
there's a blank space. They're just like, it's royalty free.
That's what it sounds like, and you're like, they've done 10-second glimpses so they can't get sued.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, we'll do 5 seconds. Usually doesn't pick up on that.
Yeah.
So the guy captures a mermaid. We're going fast. The film's going fast. We're 3 minutes in. They capture a mermaid. They accidentally catch 2 mermaids, the male and the female. They say, we just need the female one because she has the power. It's a weird...
What do they do with the man? I don't recall them getting 2. I must have been writing a note.
Well, that's my big issue, because they're like, I'm like, oh, so that's like the mermaid's like husband, or like, so, nah, doesn't matter.
Just a man?
Just another mermaid.
But do they kill him, or do they just
let
him
him
free?
back. They just let him back.
Oh, they let him back, do they? Huh.
It seemed like a very...
Do you reckon she was like out at the supermarket and was like getting attacked by this like merman? She was just like, whoa, can you like fucking back off? I've got my child with me. And he's just like, what? I just want some change. And then they're scooped up in a net.
2
and he's
nets.
like, whoa, man, I don't know her.
Yeah.
I was asking for change for that little rocking like machine out the front of the store. I wanted to pretend I was going to space.
So a hobo mermaid is trying to buy coins to ride on the wheel thing. This is where... Let me add to the bit. There's nothing else, Carl. You've hit a ceiling. You've hit a ceiling. Where am I going to go from there?
Keep going. He's got a son too. They want to ride on it together. He's like, oh, where's my dad going? I guess I'll just ride on it by myself. Boom, the dad comes back. They ride on it together.
He took the coins.
He took the coins. He was in that net being like, look, if you're going to hold that woman hostage, that mermaid don't need those coins. And they were like, you're right. Take the gold coins. Go insert them into the boat or whatever that thing is that I was referencing earlier.
Normally it's a Peppa Pig thing.
Yeah, insert them into Peppa Pig. Insert them into the side. You know, the Peppa Pig rocking thing. Outside of the supermarket.
We're only 5 minutes in. I can't trust you. That scene, pretty much the best one in the scene, probably the movie, where he just does the Peppa Pig ride for a bit.
It's a good 20 minutes. That man has a lot of coins. Turns out she could have spared some.
The real lesson here is humility and charity.
She deserved to be netted because she was greedy with her coins.
I love the adjective netted. You got fucking netted, you bitch.
Just coming back, Mum got netted out at the shallows. Oh, not another one. It's 4 this week have been netted. Oh, God. Anyway, so...
The film then grinds to a screeching halt. Like,
God, all momentum's gone,
Yeah.
and we're minutes in.
They were like, we got Julie Andrews to narrate it. What, she can't do the rest of the film? All right, we're on our own. And it feels it.
So we get, we're learning about people.
Yeah.
So we've got Effie's just, is it Ellie? Effie.
Effie
From Skins is just, she's like vibing at that nunnery. We've got Pierce Brosnan, who is, I dare say, the worst Christian ever depicted in cinema. Why is his best friend a priest? Surely he's like, dude, you are going to hell.
Well, they're setting up like a lot of like thematics, like oh, maybe it's a religious story, because essentially Pierce is like, I fucked another whore. I can't remember his name. The priest is like, you are forgiven. He's like, Cha-ching.
Like, love it. I'm going to do another one tonight.
Yeah.
Can you pre-forgive me?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go 2 rounds. Bring me the whole brothel.
Bring me the rosary beads and the anal beads. I'm just gonna frickin' tip tap.
Everything's going in me, and then everything's going in her.
Okay, so he's the king. We find out that it's the king's daughter is Effie.
Right. Did
Huge.
I miss this?
You messaged me 50 minutes into the movie. You're like, did you know Effie was the daughter? I'm like, it got to you.
I missed it.
You proved it. I can't stop. Julie Andrews tells you. Effie tells you. The servant girl that was friends with Effie tells you. It's reminded at 30 minutes. Pierce is like, my illegitimate daughter. I can't let her know. And you're like, dude, is this a twist? I'm like, no.
I missed it. Like I just didn't see it coming. I was like, I can't wait for them to reveal who the daughter is. And when they did, I was just like, maybe they're gaslighting her into thinking she's a daughter. Like, you know, how would they know? How'd they track her down?
I think because Pierce is, I don't know if it's wife. I assume his mistress was like pregnant. He sent her to the nunnery, and then she had birth with Effie. So that's how they know.
But how do they know she wasn't just taken to another nunnery?
We have no idea.
How can you even know? How can you tell which baby's which once they're growing up in just a nunnery? There's no way. There's no like photographic evidence. There's none of the paintings. I don't know. This is what threw me. Because how was I to know?
Well, see, that's the foolish thing. You don't know about.
Go on.
The painters are hired pretty much the second it comes out of the womb. Paint a little picture of the baby. Sort of get all the sort of, the detail in there.
Has he been getting... Why was she banished?
Who?
The king's daughter. Effie, if you will. I don't believe it's her.
I think she's a bastard child. I think that's it.
Right, and he's been keeping tabs.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, hey, that scar on your arm from when you were attacked by that merman for coins. And,
I remember that.
Yeah.
This is, I think, the big problem with the film, is that pretty much, like...
We don't know who the daughter is. We simply do not know who the daughter is.
Pierce's big, issue is that, he's like, I don't give a shit. I just want to sort of live forever. That's what the mermaid does for him.
And what's the point of the daughter?
Well, that's my issue, because I don't know. I don't know why she came, because, the whole thing is, she loves the water, and then she gets there, I'm also the greatest musician ever. You can't have two things.
Yeah. Why does he want her there?
I looked this up on Wikipedia, because I was like, why is she... Because I might have missed it. I think he just brings her over there because...
She's a glorified, alarm clock in the morning.
Oh my god,
that's all
right.
she is.
That's right. Pierce walks outside to his Versailles. Versailles looks great, by the way.
So here's the thing. Anytime it's Versailles, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Versailles is an incredible place. Have you been to Versailles, haven't you?
I don't think I have, no.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
Yeah.
There should be...
Well, the film transported me there, so I don't know.
You don't need to go.
No.
The Versailles is fucking huge.
It is.
It is an incredible place.
Yeah.
I loved it. I spent the entire day there.
Yeah.
And it's just like a national park, kind of, because the garden's that massive.
Mm.
And they just kept adding shit to it because there's such greedy people that made that building.
French,
Having been there, I can't tell you how far away this is from the ocean. I looked it up, this is 200 kilometers from the closest, cliff. How dare they assume that I'm getting towards it.
We'll jump around.
I'm so annoyed. Between not knowing who the daughter is and this geographical mishap, this movie's a mess. A simple mess, if you will.
Yeah, so Pierce, I don't want the big, it's not even a plot point, it's just go through those pipes, mermaid, and go to the ocean. 200 kilometers.
She should have gotten stuck in a pipe immediately.
Yeah, 100%.
They didn't have that good at plumbing back then. What the fuck is this movie on about?
Yeah, Pierce's big thing is he walks out and he's there's people playing instruments for his alarm clock, and he's like, oh, I want some better songs. Get me Effie. Effie, then...
She rocks up and is like, oh, I cannot wait to sleep in that castle. And her maid is just like, joke's on you, up to the attic.
Yeah.
This attic is covered in so much dust, I think Effie would die in the night.
I think so.
They don't know what asthma is. They don't know how to combat it. She should suffocate in the night.
Don't worry, it's all asbestos. We've coated the whole room with that, a bit of dust. You're good to go.
See that? Lick that. That's just lead.
That's your licking pole. Do
It's
I
a
have to
licking
lick
pole.
it?
Yeah.
You have to lick it.
We cover it in a healthy slime of oatmeal. Once you get past the oatmeal, the lead has a nice flavoring to it. Metallic-y, if you will.
It's like a cow licking prod. Just like, well, that's how you else get your nutrients. Don't be silly.
So you're going to get your nutrients, and then, I don't know, I guess we'll milk you at 9, play your violin till 11, and then, I don't know, just try not to break your arm till 10.
We'll have to put you down.
Anyway, you're cattle now. Goodbye. Effie from Skins is, I dare say, incredibly clumsy.
Yeah.
She's never
Bit
not
of a klutz.
tripped in a fountain, broken her arm. She's never not just like found water. Maybe we should just talk about the water thing. This is the thing that threw me. So basically, this is how Effie meets the mermaid.
Yeah.
The mermaid is swimming in like, I don't know, like an underground pond.
They have an underground cave.
I don't know where this cave
I've got
is.
no idea where this
It's
cave is.
fucking huge.
I assume it's in Versailles.
It is not in Versailles. Huh? I've been there. There is a part where they go swimming through it. I don't know. What do you want to say? It's a kilometer deep.
I think so. The Mariana Trench is like similar vibes.
It is whatever, I don't know, the Grand Canyon. Like, it's huge. Like, they're like, she's not happy in there. She's got no room. Proceeds to swim around for days.
Yeah.
Like, she's lost
She's
before
lost.
she finds her way back.
She's like, I found Atlantis down there, and I live in Atlantis. What's going on?
This is closer to home than when you found me out there at the supermarket, so...
It's a bit of like, it's an Aldi, it's a bit off the beaten track, but you know,
Yeah.
you gotta get those deals.
Essentially, she's grabbed an Uber back home.
It's I don't know why they have it. Essentially, the doctor is like, right, we need that mermaid alive, so we're just gonna keep her not locked up.
They're also flat out like, the doctor's just like, she's miserable, make her happy. And the guy that caught is like, I just sort of like sail.
Yeah.
That's not within my realm. And the doctor's like, well, what do you expect us to do with it? We don't know. Fix it.
Yeah.
He's like, what? This poor guy's been given an impossible task. He's being set up to fail.
Yeah. It's weird that this guy becomes the love interest, because for the first 40 minutes, I reckon, not much. I genuinely thought that the twist was that she wasn't his daughter, and Pierce and Effie were gonna get together.
Yeah, the sexual tension between Effie and everyone in the
Yeah.
movie's odd.
It is strange. It's framed. There's a lot of just those like glaring shots. It's very like, I don't know why it seemed like they were misdirecting everyone. Like the mermaid, the fisherman, Pierce, even like the servant is a bit like, ooh, what is this?
Every character's about 2 beats away from a kiss.
Yeah.
In every scene, which, yes, makes for like great tension in every scene, but also makes you feel vastly uncomfortable anytime anyone's on screen, which is the film. So
Normally in a film, there's a couple of scenes with people in them, and most of those were bad. So that's my assessment.
anytime there was simply water on screen here, pretty good. That's when I was like, I can take a break. There's no sexual tension.
Stop reviewing Avatar. We're getting back to this.
So we've got lots of great bits in this movie. So one of them is Effie's able to find the mermaid.
Yeah.
She finds the mermaid one with ease.
I don't know where they've locked this mermaid up. Surely it shouldn't be like casually walking
It seems
around.
next door.
Yeah.
Or
We're never
maybe-
shown are we ever shown this entrance to this cave?
No.
I assume it's just like off a room. Like
Yeah.
not unguarded.
Granted, I didn't get to see all the rooms in Versailles, so maybe this is just there.
This might be just the middle, like sort of like, you know, you got the chandelier, piano room,
If it didn't
big
look
cave with
like...
a mermaid in it.
Yeah, they're like, and that mermaid from The King's Daughters down there, and we're like, and in my audio tape, I was like, oh yes, I do know that one. Very good. Yeah, I would assume this is in Versailles if it didn't look so glaringly like a set, because they've used a
looks
real
like-
room every other time.
Exactly. It's weird. Like it's like here's like almost like Barry Lyndon-esque, and then they go down. It's like here's the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
Oh my god! But like with less money. Like when we get to a climax and it's just them walking on that very
Oh my
short
God.
drawbridge. I was like, yep, that budget's showing.
They're like, we got a big wheel. Can we use the big wheel?
No. Try not to interact with anything that isn't on the X where you need to stand right now, because there's a lot of duct tape holding up things here. That water down there, that's a lot
Glass.
of secondhand
lot of glass. It's cheaper than water.
And it's just shards of glass as well. Just don't even go down there. Don't fall, huh? We also couldn't afford a rig, so it is on you. You signed the NDA. Yeah, so she's just able to walk in and, like, touch the mermaid's water.
Yep.
They communicate through thought?
Yeah, because the guy's like, I can't hear anything. I assume so. But then
Yeah.
Effie's like, great, I love this friend. I'm going to steal her chatting to me, pleas for help, and I'm going to make him into a song.
Did this happen?
I mean, it's Pierce walks out and hears the new song. He's like, that's a good song.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Well, I forgot about it too, but I'm
Wow,
reading
isn't that
now.
crazy? I watched that today.
Yeah. It's leaving my brain, this film.
Yeah, it is.
It is. It's 90 minutes. It is beyond bland. No arc pays off. There's not really even, like... It seems like they kind of set up everything just feels a bit off.
Yeah. Like, it must be longer and they've cut it down.
I think they had 8 years to play around with it. I think, like... Surely
Somebody walked in and was like, guess what? I've turned this into a tight 80 minutes. And they're like, you shaved off an hour and a half?
It's a 3-hour epic. What have you done? Just like, it's pretty tight though. I had to get rid of most of the mermaid scenes, development, but I kept a lot of Pierce in.
Oh, there's so much Pierce. Shall we talk about the dance sequence?
Yes.
What the fuck is this? Seriously, what is it? And what does it do? And who's it for?
Okay, so... At this point, I'm still thinking that Effie and Pierce are gonna fuck. Like,
Yeah,
I'm still think it's a lie that he's the daughter.
I'm still really wrapped up in this, like, guessing game of who is the daughter. So, like, I'm
The
on my toes.
film refuses to tell me.
I know. This is a murder mystery, if you will. It's a great mystery. A classic Poirot tale, if you must.
But they're... So Effie... so the kind of... I don't know why the dance is. I don't know why I'm trying to explain it.
They just dance.
They just start dancing.
She's like, I don't know, I can't dance. And he's like, I don't know, how about you just do some perfect choreography with me then? And she's just like, that bitch can dance. Me and him.
Let's do
Me
it.
and him.
It's so intimate. It
Yeah.
feels so inappropriate that they're... what is it? The king's daughter and the king.
You reading the title of the film? That she is the king's daughter. Because, again... At this point in time, we do not know yet.
Shut the fuck up about it. That's the only thing the film says the king's daughter like 8 times. The fact that you were not aware for most of the film, it's that would have been more interesting. But then the film made me so angry because that's all there is, and you were like, God, this is. Well, when will we find out?
I was wrapped up in a pretty good mystery, and boy, when the twist came that she was the daughter, pretty blown away. Pretty blown away.
Oh, it's so frustrating. Anyway, Pierce has visions of Effie's mum while they're dancing.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, disgustingly throws her away. There's not much. There's not really... No one's, like, super bad. No one's super good.
Yeah. We're not even touching on this guy she's meant to marry, who's just sort of lurking in the background like he's gonna do something villainous, but never does anything.
He never does anything. He's just this posh guy. The only... I looked up on Wikipedia, because I was like, who were these people? Apparently, his dad had just died, who had a lot of money, so Pierce was marrying up Thingamajig to get his inheritance.
Right, okay.
I don't remember that at all in this movie. That would have been a lot more helpful.
But, I mean, it was the fact that they really don't do anything with it.
No, they do nothing with it.
Yeah.
It's so strange. Like, most of these plots just kind of go, it's fine.
They go, we're wrapping it up, right?
Yep.
And you're just like, have you got anything to wrap up? Because so far you're just sort of...
It's crazy how interesting it starts.
Yeah.
Not even like, it's something I'd want to watch, but like something like, well, there's a mermaid, there's like a king, there's a daughter, there's like a lot of elements, and they're just like, what if we just kind of mulled around for a bit?
Yeah. And so we get a part where Effie's riding with the sailor.
Yeah.
They're on the back of a horse. She very comedically runs into a branch, just so it really fucking blitzes her down.
Yeah.
Props to the tree. Did a great job on the film.
Yeah.
Immediately everybody's like, let's just cut that arm off. It's ever so slightly bruised. They're just like, amputate it, go!
The doctor, the doctor's a bad doctor, because he's just
bad
pretty much
doctor.
just like, King, I'm pretty sure we can find a mermaid. We could like give you everlasting life. He's like, well, what, you fall in your arm? Just, I don't know, cut off a foot.
Cut it off. We're going to do that arm, and we'll do the other one for safety. Because that's as far as I know with my knowledge.
It's the worst fucking doctor in the world.
the
The
king-
priest, the king, everyone's like, I don't know, should we give it maybe a couple hours? He's like, The infection's pretty much done.
Should we give it till morning? And he's like, no, I'll have to take the legs then.
Yeah.
Just, I can only do limbs. Huh? Once that spreads to the chest, I can't cut off a chest, can I? You know I can't do that, sir. I love that they were just like, the king is just like, just don't cut off an arm. And he's like mid-sawing her.
Yeah.
Blood gushing everywhere. And it's just like, she'll bleed to death if I leave it like this. In fact, king, I've made things worse. There, I said it. You keep me around. I'm noble enough to know when I made a
bandage her up.
mistake.
I brought none. Why would I bring any?
I don't know what a bandage is. I've got towels, but I don't know what
They're used.
They're all used.
Very sweaty.
Yeah.
A gym towel, if you will.
They were underneath animals as I put them down. I had to put down a lot of animals this morning. All of them. Bad arms.
Yeah. Essentially, the fisherman boy, who's the love interest, is like, let's go check out that mermaid. Brings her down. The mermaid heals people.
The mermaid almost gets into like a crocodile role.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, she's definitely consuming that woman.
100%. She's
Yeah.
like, oh, cool. A wounded animal? I'll eat that then.
Yeah, she's a predator in the sea. And you've put this bait in. They make a point that all she's been eating is dead fish.
Yeah.
And finally, she's got a maimed human.
Who's lashing around because she's in pain?
I'm going to tell you right now. If
I would have eaten her. I would have eaten her.
If I was a shark, that's a delicious person to eat.
Yeah.
Huh? Nice and lean. Yeah, she's worked a little bit, so there's probably a little bit of muscle, huh?
It's royalty?
Yeah,
that's a little
she's
bonus.
royalty, so she's probably been well fed the last few
A
days.
wagyu, if you will.
Oh,
Well,
absolutely.
she's a grain. She's been eating grain and prey, she's cattle.
Yeah, she's essentially Kobe human.
Yeah.
She's eating a lot of Kobe beef. Yeah?
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, sure. So it shocked me that the mermaid did not eat her.
Yeah.
And I also thought potentially this is when she would turn into a mermaid.
I thought so.
I'm disappointed nobody becomes a mermaid.
It seems like they wrote this film and then were annoyed they had to include the mermaid. It's just, I don't know. Like, I thought that I heard this was like, I read this was a book, and yeah, it does sound a bit interesting. It's like, oh, real life history, but there's a mermaid.
You can tell that there is like the themes and the actions and all the characters that I'm sure would probably make an interesting read.
It would, yeah.
They've all been mainstreamed and simplified down into a pretty dull common denominator.
100%. Because there's suddenly bits about religion. The priest is like, should we kill this creature? You can be like, that'd be a great moral conundrum.
Well, it's all about your soul, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I want to live forever. And he's like, but your soul is what lives forever, not your body.
Yeah.
So why do you want that anyway? And then it's like, if you kill that creature, you're condemning your soul to an eternity of hell.
Yeah.
The odd ideas don't really answer or do anything with
No.
them.
It just addresses it. And Pierce is like, listen, if that's right, God kill me.
Yeah.
God doesn't kill him. He's like, I'm G.
You definitely need a Guillermo del Toro or a Tim Burton or Ang Lee or somebody that's going to bring a bit of darkness and grittiness to this plot and make it a bit more wacky, and then give it the grandness and gravitas that it needs. Because it's all of the shots of Asai are cool, but they should be cooler.
They should be. Some shots are a little bit off center.
Yeah.
I was just like, there's this garden shot. It's a bit tilted to the left. You're like, should be so easy to film.
This is one of the most any point you stand is one of the most perfectly geometrically designed places ever.
Yeah.
And yet you were slightly off center.
Yeah.
How the fuck did that happen, Dale?
Dale's a cinematographer, close friend of the podcast.
We love you, Dale. Come on next time. So they now know that the mermaid can heal arms.
Yes.
They're like, let's get ready to kill that bitch.
Yeah.
Let's just, she didn't end up eating my daughter. So now's probably a good time to reveal to the daughter that she's my daughter.
Yeah.
I think this is to hide it a Gone Girl-esque twist was smart. So that when we get this reveal that she is the daughter, I gasped. I simply had no idea. No idea, Oscar. What a twist. You were beginning to smile, but this genuinely took me off guard.
Shut the fuck up.
I didn't know who the daughter was going to be.
It can't be more cute.
Here's the thing.
They say it 8 times. They go...
Missed it every time.
Pierce pretty much goes every end of the scene to the priest. Do you betray my sin? By the way, that's my daughter. He goes by the way, that's my daughter. Effie's like, I don't know who my dad is. Probably Pierce, though.
Again, I missed it every time.
I can't believe you missed it.
Every time. Well, look, here's the thing. Sometimes these bad movies.
I don't watch them. Period.
Nah.
I'm just vibing out.
I absorb them a little.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm like, oh, I'll do the first 30 minutes, I'll take some notes.
Yeah.
You know? That next 20 minutes, I don't know, maybe I'm cooking a meal. Next 10 minutes, maybe I'm shitting. So maybe I'm reading an article while it's playing out. And then usually the last 30 minutes I do pay attention to.
I'm so glad you're saying this, because I will say, from about this point, I'm off. I'm doing the washing. I was hanging out the washing, kind of peering out, going, oh, what's this?
This was genuinely so terrible. I couldn't let it steal my time.
No.
Some of these I just flat out watch.
Yeah.
And I take my notes, I flat out watch them. Most of them I do that. There are ones where I go, not today.
No.
You can't take this away from me. Today's a sunny day, and I watched this? No, thank you. Cook a meal, take a shit, have a sleep. These need to be done in between. I need to live.
I like you locking yourself into a movie like, God, I can't piss myself. Oh, God, I'm locked in.
Some of these movies, I have to fucking chain myself to like a refrigerator or something, just so I don't move. Do you know how hard it is that I take notes on a phone?
That is
so easy for me to scroll.
I was Chromecasting on my phone, and I couldn't be on my phone. It was the best decision I made, because I was just like, I have to finish this. I want to go back on my phone. Anyway,
so they've come up with a plan. They're like, hey, let's save this mermaid,
yes.
right? This is when I was like, man, this is a lot like The Shape of Water.
Yeah.
And then I was like, is The Shape of Water, has The Shape of Water taken inspiration from this book?
Yeah.
It hasn't. Turns out Shape of Water was getting sued because it was similar to another story.
Gotcha.
And then I found out this story was similar to another story. And then I realized, wow, this story is just so simple. It's just through time. Like, there's about 45 different iterations of somebody befriends a creature, help them escape. This movie is Free Willy.
Well, it's funny because most of those films are really based off Waterhorse. So, that's kind of the OG.
You mean The Legend of the Deep?
One day we'll have to do that film, because that angered me so much as a child. I'm just like, who the fuck gives a shit? Who gives a fucking flying shit about this goddamn Loch Ness monster?
I'm genuinely pretty chuffed I got the subtitle to that film. Why does that even have a subtitle? The movie's called Waterhorse. Doesn't that capture you enough? I don't need to know it's The Legend of the Deep.
The Lost Daughter, Legend of Versailles.
The Cave of Man.
Yeah.
Woman. Huh? Cave
Powerful.
Woman.
That's a modern film.
Ugh, that was a bad bit on me. Leave it in. So they're gonna release her.
Yeah.
This almost like heist they pull off. So simple. The priest is immediately in.
The priest is pretty much arguing with Pierce, just like, hey, if you kill that, you're pretty much going to hell. He's like, can you forgive me? He's like, probably not. He's like, all right, well, you're done. And Pierce is like, well, I'm gonna side with your daughter.
I love when Pierce Brosnan's just like, you know what? I don't think your god's fucking real.
Yeah.
Oi, God, if you don't want me to kill this mermaid, strike me down, you little bitch.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, did anything happen, Mr. Priest? I don't know. Why don't you go sit and think about yourself?
It's such he's been like, the priest wakes him up every morning and he immediately repents for his sins. And now he's like, you know what? I could fucking kill a mermaid.
Yeah.
Who's gonna stop me? You should be stopping yourself. But it's not like, do we think that, because I kind of think Pierce is like goodish for most of it. It's like a morally grey character, but in a 90-minute film. So it's just kind of like, he's just making a lot of decisions that contradict each other.
Yeah. It's just like, this priest has got to give up on him.
Yeah.
Just like, let him go.
Let him go.
Everybody here sucks balls. Like, literally every single... Like,
That's such a childish... God, this place sucks balls. Fucking this whole Versailles. Dude, this fucking sucks. What the fuck? Everyone's sucking balls and shit.
Hilarious. For a priest to flip everyone off at Versailles and go, this place sucks balls. All of you suck. I'm going to take a horse and carriage and bounce over to the next place. Yeet!
Anyway, Pierce, God does not smite him down, and they plan to kill the mermaid.
Yep.
Their heist is, there is a little door to the cave, and
where'd this little door come from?
I've got no fucking idea. There's one single guard. The fisherman's like, I brought a friend. Could you just like, I don't know, like, to cause a distraction, he says, and the guy walks up to the guard, smacks him on the bum, goes, "Chase me if you can." And he's like, "Well, I'm in."
And it worked.
It did.
And here's the thing. Great heist. I was waiting for like an Ocean's S twist when it turned out they'd gotten rid of the mermaid the day before.
Yeah.
Would have been great, huh? Would have been good to get that double punch of, she's your daughter. This happened yesterday, huh?
A double heist. That's why they call it.
A double twist, if you will, huh? Like an entendre.
Anyway, it gets a bit messy, but not really. The stakes are so.
It's a bit messy, but it gets so convoluted in the simplest way.
Yeah, it's
like,
so.
you're
It's
so
like
right.
it's just like I can read it like pretty much like the fisherman wants to get the mermaid. He also wants to get Effie. Effie's locked in the tower. She learns it. She goes to Pierce, goes, "Hey, don't kill that mermaid." He's like, "I'm gonna, and you're gonna marry that guy." She's like, "Rats."
Damn.
Then she goes to the priest, goes, "Hey, want to help?" He's like, "Yep." And then they say the mermaid. How the fuck do they get into the? How do they get into the cave?
I don't know.
I'm so confused.
Why? She has all the power, though.
Yeah.
Because she can just be like, I don't have to tell people you're my dad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he could.
Yeah, and then, but can't she just, yeah, but you're not.
I mean, surely if the king says you're my daughter, that's kind
I
of
know,
more.
but she can just be like, nah, I'm not. Just, when that
That's, no, you can't be. What the fuck's your reasoning? The king says, "I decree you're my daughter." You'd be like, "No." Everyone goes, "Well, it's 50-50. Yes, it is, but it's the king.
I'm just saying, like, they're at the altar, and she's about to marry that guy.
I sound like such a royalist now, don't I? Just
Yeah,
like,
you do.
It's the king's decree!
You are British, so you're used to this. As an Australian, nah, you just
too
go,
lax.
You just go, nah.
Let the king smite you down.
That ain't her. I just feel like at the wedding to that guy, she can just be like, you know, he's lying, right? I'm not affiliated with him. And he would just be like, oh, really? She's like, nah, just there's no connection. I'm just a good old peasant. The nuns will speak to that. And then he'd be like, oh, let's just pause this wedding while we work this out. And the king will be like, no, it's definitely my daughter. And the prince will be like, no, let's put this back on. And then she can be like, he's telling fibs. Let's get that nun in, huh? Let's discuss.
Okay, so Effie and the fisherman get to the mermaid lair. The big evil doctor's like, "I'm gonna shoot you." There is the set piece, we already talked about it. It's literally just like a cave with like a one little drawbridge, and they fight on the drawbridge, but very carefully. Like, they do one fall, and then they're kind of like in the middle tussling, but not really. He shoots him, he falls in the water. We're like, damn, that guy's dead.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. The film doesn't even bother with a score.
Yeah.
The film's like...
Oh, yeah, I've noticed they've stopped playing music. The composers have been like, I can give you half of the soundtrack, the other half want to get paid.
Have
8 years later,
have
didn't
you
get
noticed
paid.
it started with all the classical music, and then by the end they're like, "Fuck it, chuck Sia in there." See
Oh.
what happens. See,
We'll get to that, because that was a real fucking needle drop, and I lost my shit. So basically, we're like, oh, he's presumed dead. Obviously, the mermaid saves his life. I
Yeah.
don't know why she does that, because I don't know.
he captured her in the
yeah,
first
he's
place.
been pretty unkind to that mermaid.
Yeah.
They then swim through that little door they talked about. They go for the 200 kilometers and
Yeah.
swim out the edge. I don't know how Effie rode a horse for 200 kilometers to the edge cliff, but I guess she did. And she's like, the sun's going over the moon or whatever.
What's up with the solar eclipse?
I don't know where this came from.
I don't know where this came from either. I thought a solar eclipse happens. Like, is it just for dramatic effect?
I mean, you didn't. They talked about this like 6 times in the movie. You missed this?
Oh, it's a good twist for me there.
No, it gets to the eclipse immediately. They're just like, look at this beautiful day. Do we go for a swim? Ah, orange everywhere. She's on the edge of the cliff and is like, you've got an ultimatum.
To the king.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Yeah.
And you have to keep that mermaid alive so that she can save me, right?
Yeah.
Or you can kill that mermaid, but you're gonna lose your daughter.
Yeah. At this point, we must establish...
Didn't know she was the daughter. No, you go.
At this point, I don't think Pierce kind of hasn't shown much care towards her.
No, I don't know why he'd pick her.
I don't know why he's gone for this arc. So that's the main thing. The problem with Pierce.
Yeah.
Effie believing that he would then not save her, pretty ridiculous.
What's she basing that on? That one dance?
Yeah.
That one measly little dance?
Where he dropped her.
Yeah.
And then 3, what if the mermaid then saves Effie and then they just shoot the mermaid?
That's what I thought they would
Yeah.
do. Why wouldn't you just do that, huh? So easy. Why didn't the mermaid swim away?
Yeah.
She's like, that mermaid's gotta wait for me.
The mermaid's like listening. I'm gonna jump in the water. The mermaid's swimming away like, fuck that shit. I'm going back to my coins. I hope they're still there.
Gotta get back to that supermarket. My son's there. He's waiting. It's like Finding Nemo, but in reverse. No, of course that mermaid's gotten out and just swimming for safety.
Yeah.
Why would the mermaid be like, let's see how
An ultimatum's happening.
let's see how this
Let's see
am
if
I a key part of this?
50% of me dies? I guess I'll hang about.
Yeah.
It's not bad odds.
Yeah, absolutely. The fact that Effie's just like,
You kill her, or you kill me. And it's going,
you're throwing me under the fuck that shit. Just swimming away.
Anyway, Pierce decides she jumps.
Oh, she does, yeah. I think they should have compromised, and as she jumps, shot her and then the mermaid. Yeah. I think she should have hit those rocks as she went down. She shouldn't have evaded those rocks.
The mermaid's like,
landing.
she's slightly out of water. There's nothing I can do.
Has to go up slightly and land and teeth her in.
Yeah.
Just bites around her neck, a jugular, and drags her into the water to save her. But by then she's got a taste of Effie's blood, and she's delicious.
She's like,
her on the spot.
No, you broke your hand. You'll have to cut it off.
Yeah. It's immediately just like, back then I saved you because I thought you could help me escape, but now you're like a meal for 20.
Yeah.
To Atlantis you come. She's like, no, I was wrong. Oh, God.
Shoot him, fucking shoot him, Pierce.
Get that everlasting life. Oh, no.
She's draining me of mine.
So she gets to live.
Yes.
Why did the king pick her? Because immediately she doesn't even hang around.
No.
So she doesn't even...
She abandons the king.
Yeah, so she abandons the king. The king gets nothing.
Yeah.
So he's made a wrong decision. I'm just going to jump to the big highlight of this movie.
Yeah.
Where the movie's done. She's out at sea with her sailor.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, I'll see you in an hour. She jumps in. The mermaid's there waiting for her. And you're like, oh good, they're gonna have a little swim. They've found Atlantis. Sia starts swelling in the background. Having seen Avatar this year, Sia paired with these effects and just Effie swimming around with them is some of the most grotesque imagery ever.
I would describe,
it's so sudden.
I would describe it as like Shark Tale-esque. It's like a very Victorian film ending with jumping into Oscar the Whale Shark Slayer. It is hideous. It is like Las Vegas, but like a PlayStation 1 game underwater. It's so gordish.
It's got flowers like they've just seen Encanto and gone, kids like flowers now. Chuck them on.
So it's underwater. Chuck 'em
So...
in. Fuck it.
Kids didn't care. Huh? That was a musical. We've got Versailles. Kids love Versailles. We shot on location. They'll love that. Flowers. This Sia song, which is also written by Adele, not the best.
You don't like...
It's like,
I'm still breathing.
Yeah. I thought it was ironic because I assumed she might be drowning.
Yeah. That's clever.
Wouldn't it be crazy if we just flip it to his POV and he's sitting up at that boat after an hour and her body just floats to the top, face down, and he just has to poke her with a stick a bit and be like, oh, the king's not going to like that.
Oh, rats. Just the mermaids come out and bite her, nibble her little body to death.
He flips her body over, it's just like the whole underside of her is like eaten flesh. You know when that happens when you catch a fish and you go, oh, bigger fish has gotten to it.
Yeah, rats.
Why is she so confident about diving into this water? Other predators live in the ocean besides mermaids.
Well, I don't really get...
What beats a shark? A mermaid, or does shark beat mermaid?
Shark was the king of the sea, and the mermaid is the king of the daughter. So...
You're thinking of the lion. The lion's the king of the sea.
No. The king's daughter is the mermaid. The shark is the king of the ocean. So I think they had the opposite. What was it? They had the opposite. So the mermaids had a king, and then I'm not going to have this bit. Essentially, it ends with Pierce ending up with a mermaid daughter.
I'm disappointed nobody became a mermaid. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's not very H2O, just have water.
This should have been more mermaids. And you can tell they spent too much money on paying Versailles to shoot at.
Yeah.
Not enough money on that one set
Is
they
it
milk.
the only like films being able to film at Versailles?
Was Marie Antoinette shot at Versailles?
not sure.
Surely. I've never
Maybe.
seen that. I would assume it's shot there. Maybe the Great shot at Versailles? I don't know. You know, I don't know. Oscar, who would watch The King's Daughter?
I don't know. It's such a it's a big. You can tell it's like a big book, and they were like, let's just squish it down to 90 minutes. They probably did film like a 2.5 hour film, but they've just hit just beats, and like they're like, this is a great character. Let's just do his plot points. But then you kind of left with just like a lot of boring characters, strange character motivations, and like just there's nothing here. So I don't know. Big fans of Effie from Skins. We all liked her in that season, so give her a film. No, genuinely, do you think the romance even like lands?
No, I think this is just an all-round terrible film.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what redeeming qualities there would be, other than just like the fact that they just filmed at Versailles.
Yeah.
That the natural landscaping and rooms of that place just you know, they just hold it up.
Yeah, we were
really
being cruel at cinematography. The cinematography looks
It's fine.
fun.
The movie was. I was shocked at how good it looked.
Yeah.
To be honest, it looks pretty good. Apart from like the mermaid doesn't look great, and obviously the Atlantis at the end is pretty terrible. I don't know why they showed that.
No.
I wasn't expecting to see it. Were they going on and on about Atlantis the entire
Well, that's
film?
my thing. I was sort of like, they start with like, oh, there's the mermaid. We captured the female and the male. Where's the male?
Yeah.
I thought they'd be like I was happy of like the mermaid reconnected with her love. It's like, oh, look, the mermaid and Effie both found love.
Well, isn't it the fact that like I thought they wanted to get back to the daughter? Because doesn't she like live her memories, and it's just like, where's my daughter?
Oh, that's right.
So, cause it was fun to see Atlantis, though. You could see where like the supermarket was,
Yeah.
where the little rocket machine was,
That little bag of coins.
where the
that's pretty
coins
good.
had landed.
Yeah.
You know, nice honesty system there. Somebody returned a lot of them.
Yeah.
Um,
But you take a few. It's a reward. you
well,
know?
a lot of them were in the machine.
Yeah.
I think we can all, you know, that guy was still rocking in there and was like, oh shit, she's back. Just scamper away.
Oh, man. 15 coins left out of a 500 bag. It's fine. It happens.
She back already? God, did I spend all that time on there? Oh, I didn't pay for any welfare. Said I'd do one ride on this little rocket outside the supermarket. What a waste.
Girl, who's this for?
If you like fish or sushi, and next week, Oscar, what are we reviewing?
Before we get into it, I'll give some fun facts about the film. We know it was made over an 8-year period, but did you know that in 1997 the Jim Henson Company wanted to make it?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would have liked that.
If it was
just to
Muppets,
see.
if
Just
it
to
was-
see.
It'd be quite fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
This film, genuinely, every issue I have would be fixed if there were Muppets.
Yeah. I think it's actually one of those things that because the book's called The Moon and the Sun, right?
Yeah.
If you look at that title and then look at this title, The King's Daughter, you can tell what the themes are of the moon and the sun in
Yeah.
comparison to The King's Daughter.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing that also people don't give the Jim Henson Company credit for, they're usually really good scripts.
Yeah.
People forget that. They probably would have done a pretty tight adaptation.
I think so. I would love to know. This film feels chopped up, doesn't it? So many like, little loose ends, but it's fine. I just don't know.
It feels like they've had to cut a lot of the mermaid. When Effie goes, but she's my best friend, I was like, whoa, hold up there.
That was such a funny scene on that cliff, because it was pretty much like the film going, right, let's wrap this up. She's like, I wanted to be owned, essentially. She's like, I wanted to belong, I wanted a friend, and I wanted to be near the ocean. I was like, that was your character motivation for this 90 minutes?
Yeah.
It's insane.
She's just an Instagrammer.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to be near the sea and self-sufficient.
Isn't that that's our dream?
Huh? Isn't that what most of us want? What a basic bitch.
Get her ass. Get her!
Nah. Palette cleanser this week?
Carl, yesterday I procrastinated watching this film and watched the second Back to the Future and the third Back to the Future, and I
Yeah.
hadn't seen this in a very long time.
Yeah, you famously hate the first one. That's why you
Yep,
skipped to
I
2
gave
and
it
3,
1,
right?
but I think second and third really brings it home. No, I hadn't. I'd seen the first one like 2 years ago. I was like, that was good. I hadn't seen the second and third in a while, and I loved them as kids. As a kid, is like my favorite. Like just watch all 3 and then start again. Growing up, I get so some people are a bit negative on them. I saw you're pretty negative on them.
Yeah, I don't like them.
You're a
I
coward.
like that first one.
Why do you like the second one? We could chat about maybe my nostalgia's getting to me, but I feel like the second one.
The second one's too much just the first one, in my opinion.
Do you not like them weaving?
No,
through?
I hate when they do that.
Really?
I hate it. I hate the, and you know what? I feel like that spawned it for so many fucking things. And they spawned it for that Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, and they spawned it for like Avengers Endgame. And that's them just being like, what if we're in the background of things you've seen? I don't want to see that. Do a new adventure.
But they're intertwining. It's great.
I probably prefer the third one to the second. I also think the second one gets too dark.
like
I don't think it's that dark of a franchise. And they're just like, what if there was murder as well? I don't want to see
I feel
that.
like it's off screen, but you have to remember that Christopher, the guy, didn't want to be in it.
Yeah.
Which is like
Well, I think also famously, probably Robert Zemeckis was probably like, I don't want to work with you again.
it was scary the shit out of me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Don't you know that story where they had to fence him in so he wouldn't move?
No, I didn't hear that. What's that?
Oh, it's because he would just walk around so much in scene he wouldn't take the direction. They built a little fence around it so that he would stay in position. It's the same when they have to do the clothesline bit.
Really?
Yeah. He's in a little fence.
Why is he hired? I mean, he's not hired anymore, but
he is amazing in that first film.
he is. It is such a perfect tight film, that first one. It's just brilliant.
Yeah.
I love the second one going back. I do like all the Biff stuff.
I prefer the future stuff, but then I don't like that the future stuff is a retread of the first film, but in the future. I think it's like generally the second one, I think personally does not know what it wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
If it wants to be an alternate version, if it wants to be in the future, if it doesn't want to be in the future, if it wants to be an alternate timeline exploration, if it wants to, like, I just don't know what it wants to be.
Yeah.
At least that third one is like, nah, we're a fun Western.
Yeah.
I think the third one's way more consistent in like
100%.
its storytelling and what it wants to do. But I've found any of these older movies that I have any sort of disdain for. I don't have disdain for these. These movies are fine.
Yeah.
The first one's amazing.
Yeah.
But I found that I have been enjoying them way more, being like seeing what the current slate of cinema's like. So I do look at them with rose-tinted glasses now.
I think so. I mean, you look at like the second one. I see the issues. I'm not gonna like be like it's definitely not as good as the first. You have to think like, man, I can't think of a single film that's come out like recently that's made a pretty like great solid film. I mean, the second one's been maybe Knives Out. It's probably the closest.
Yeah.
Maybe that new Batman. I can't think of like one that's like pretty much contained it pretty well.
Yeah. I think 22 Jump Street
Yeah.
really maintained itself from the first one.
100%. But that's similar in the sense that like I feel as though the second one's works because it's so self-referential that it's
on
been
itself.
a sequel.
Yeah.
Where I quite like the second one because I feel like it's also doing that in Back to the Future a bit. But I do understand that it's like it's future and then it's like the alternative. And then I will say that it's probably the weakest. I mean, like it's like what's it called? It's a cliffhanger. But it's the weakest like tension.
Pretty famous, actually. Just like, oh my god, Duck's alive and he's in the Old West.
Yeah.
It's just like, sure.
Imagine waiting a year. Like that's because I think I've never had. I was just thinking like,
it has a trailer in the credits.
It does. Yeah, they were just like, don't worry, we've already fucking made it. It's coming out in 7 months,
and it looks cheap.
Hey,
it does.
It does.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, I lowered my ratings to half star, but I still think banger first one. I still think I prefer the second one. I freaking love a Western.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's what's it called? Like, I think if I rewatched them, I'd probably enjoy them a little bit more. It's like when we watched I'll just make it my palate cleanser for the sake of this conversation.
Yeah.
But National Treasure is just amazing now because of what cinema is. Where you're like, man, National Treasure closed streets. went to locations, had like fun stunt work, like long car
Everything's
chases.
practical.
Everything's practical. It's got this fun, dumb sort of like narrative that weaves through American history. Like Nicolas Cage is a weird lead to grab, but he's killing it.
I gave it like 3, and you were like, "It's criminal. You're not giving that a 5-star." I was like, "Is it?"
No, it's pretty great. It is.
It is great.
You were watching it, and you were glued. To
I
that
was glued to
screen,
the
and you
screen.
gave it a 3.
Yeah.
You piece of shit. Give that movie a 5. National Treasure is a classic now. I always loved National Treasure. Watching it again this year, that is an amazing film.
That's just what happened with me to Back to the Future. You've got nostalgia,
Nah,
and then
man.
you've gone back and gone, "That isn't shit. I'm a genius." 5 stars.
Nah, that ain't me. That's you, though. That is you.
Carl, what are we doing next week?
Next week we are going into our romance phase.
Oh,
I mean, I guess this is a bit of a romance, huh? This is kicking off February.
yeah, it's a soft launch.
It's a soft launch for a little bit of romance. We're going to be doing Nicholas Sparks films, huh?
Huh?
Whole fucking bunch of them.
I didn't realize how many books. 1 he's written, 2 films have been adapted.
Oh god, all of them. I'm pretty sure. We're doing The Last Song. We're talking The Last Song. We're talking The Last Song, The Lucky One, and Safe Haven.
Nice.
We're doing 3.
I did not help you there at all.
We're doing 3.
I've got them written down here.
Rude. So we're doing them, huh? And you can join us if you will. Yeah, come back.
Get a bit sensual.
Yeah, we do. Here's the thing. This podcast is only going to get sexier
Yeah.
over the next few weeks. It's going to get more sensual. We're going to use a lot more buzzwords, and we're going to maybe do a little bit of ASMR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mean to alarm you guys. I hope this comes through in the podcast. We've now lit a candle.
Yep.
So, sensual's up.
Candle is on. Pants are off.
Pants still on. There is a candle though.
No, pants are way off. Mine are over there. Not even near me. Not even close to be back on me. Is it because it's sensual, or is it because it's summer and we're in a really fucking hot room?
You find out next week. Thank you for listening.